Do you want to talk about Milo? Yiannopoulis and Twitter?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Really an interesting story. So it goes back to Ghostbusters. Anybody see the new Ghostbusters yet?
Awesome.
It's good.
I loved it.
I was
Awesome.
I was cracking up the entire time. I loved it.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, you mean women can be funny?
Believe it or not.
Okay.
Why anybody, by the way, in this day and age, thought women couldn't be funny is really beyond me, right?
There are a lot of jerks out there.
Melissa McCarthy she walks in the room and she's funny.
And you know
Kate
what?
McKinnon stole the
Kirsten
show, though.
Wiig is funny. Just, she looks funny. She's funny.
Yeah. But Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones, I think, were funnier
I hear
than
Kate
those two.
McKinnon is fabulous in it.
She might be my
She's
favorite character
insanely
in the movie.
hilarious. Oh, she
Yeah.
stole the movie.
Yeah.
Like, hands down. Like
Yeah.
And Leslie
she's
Jones
so
is good?
Yeah.
She's good, yeah. Not
So
as good as
here's
Kate McKinnon.
here's my theory. So Milo Yiannopoulis, who is or was at Nero on Twitter, decided, along with apparently some others, that first of all they shouldn't remake Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Because the first 3 were such classics. Were there 3? 2?
Two. There was 2. And a
Such
cartoon
classics.
series.
I don't think that. But anyway. And I think he didn't like that it was women, right? If you're going to remake it,
Well,
at least
it's not
have
just
guys.
him. It's not really him. He was kind of stoking this subculture on Twitter that was saying all these things,
Right.
and that's why he got bumped off. It's not necessarily he.
You don't
was-
think it's him? Well, I think
Oh, no, it's definitely him. I mean, he knows who his followers are, and he's been like the
Exactly.
hub of a lot of this.
And I also think he doesn't have any beliefs at all and loves just stirring stuff up. You've met people like that who just get off on and they think it's all a great game. He's in it for the lulls, if anybody ever was, right? So
Yeah,
he
and
apparently
he's pretty
doesn't like
smart.
Jones' performance
Yeah.
and starts. I don't know what he did. He tweet racist stuff, or he just incited his followers to tweet racist
He
stuff?
incited it. He kind of
He
winked
was
and
saying
nodded. And
he was
pointed
saying
at
some
it.
stuff like she's ugly, and
Yeah. He was kind of pointing that direction, and given that he knows who his followers are.
he
and
knew
those
that they
things-
would then post gorilla pictures,
Yes.
and really, I mean,
Exactly.
terribly racist stuff.
Unquestionably racist, sexist, and just very hateful and kind of xenophobic in general.
She started retweeting, which I thought was an interesting response. It's very hard to know what to do with trolling. Do you ignore it? A lot of people say just ignore it. Don't give them any energy at all.
Yep.
But it's hard when people are tweeting pictures comparing you to a chimpanzee, and then you're an African American. Do you want to ignore that? That is, I can't imagine anything. Hateful stuff, death threats, horrible stuff. So it takes the unusual tack.
Of essentially exposing them, making it public,
Retweeting
letting
them.
everybody see.
Yeah,
the
feeding
hateful
the
BS she's
trolls.
getting. Yeah.
And then says, and that's it, I'm out of here. I'm leaving Twitter.
But it was like, I mean, in her defense, like she had been getting this for days and weeks, and
You don't have to defend
right?
her.
And then
you do not have to
yeah.
defend her.
And I mean, like, could you imagine the emotional toll it's going to take out of you after spending all
Reprehensible.
day retweeting the BS, which just got more and more of those.
Oh, believe
hateful
me, I don't have to
jerks
imagine
Yeah,
it.
you know, it's just like,
I'm there, baby.
yeah.
So Twitter's response to this is to ban Milo.
Permanently.
Permanently ban
'Cause
Milo.
they banned him
They had
before.
punished him before by taking away his blue check. We're taking away your blue check. But now they ban him. Now, on the one hand, of course, because he is using his real name, I mean, at Nero's not, but it's everybody knows it's him.
Yeah.
He doesn't hide that it's him. It even says in his bio, they could ban him. The trolls, they can kill that account, but they just come back. They can't effectively stop
And they're literally
the
millions of
abuse.
them.
You
Millions
cannot
of those
stop
guys.
the abuse.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I feel like he's being punished for doing the right thing, which is abusing her with his real name. It's never right to abuse,
Well,
but at least
sure,
he's
that's
using
the
his real
right
name, right?
He's using his real name, and yeah, he's not hiding behind anything. Sure, you can give him credit for that.
Well, I
but
don't want to give him a lot of credit, but
the fact of the matter is if you're using, like Twitter's terms of service say very clearly, if you're using it to abuse other people, you might get kicked off the service.
Yeah.
I like, and you know
he
his whole
says-
argument of free
he
speech
says,
is just
I am the
BS.
most fabulous supervillain on the internet. I mean, he
Did he forget about Martin Shkreli or whatever that kid's name
Martin
is?
Shkreli, yeah, there's another villain. But Milo loves this. He thinks it's fun. He enjoys it. And in fact, this is an article on Medium by Lori Penny called "I'm with the Band." She went to Milo's party at the Republican convention the night he was banned, and he was thrilled.
Yeah.
Best thing that could ever happen to him. He loved the publicity. So it's not a punishment, right? It just validates him, gives his brand mileage. We're talking about him. I wouldn't have talked about him otherwise.
Yep.
He's in all the media. He says, so let's see.
Well, he was claiming that's the end of Twitter as a whole.
She says, how does he feel about his suspension? It's fantastic, he says. It's the end of the platform. The timing is perfect. I thought I had another 6 months, but this was always going to happen. And he thinks it's the end of Twitter.
Yeah, which
is
just
not,
shows
obviously.
how overblown his own ego is in this
But
regard.
it doesn't.
I mean, honestly, like I think it's in some sense it's good for Twitter to do this, because if he is one of those kind of figureheads of like a really terrible community that exists on their platform, on their service, take down those big folks, because those people who do use Twitter in that capacity to promote themselves and to build a business and to build a reputation, as in this case, if you want to call him a journalist or a blogger or whatever, he can't use that platform anymore. He can't reach millions of people that way anymore. The other trolls
that is
that
an
were following
effective
him around,
punishment, however.
yeah, because the other trolls that were following him around, they don't have millions of followers.
There's no point. They're just having fun.
Exactly. They're just a bunch. So if you're, you can't get rid of trolling altogether, but you can get rid of the folks who are leading some of this really hateful BS. You can't let it go without any punishment, without any sort of recourse. So I think
nobody
this was a smart
denies
move
it's their right to do this. It's a private platform.
Oh, plenty of people deny it. Are you kidding me?
Really?
So, oh my God, you should see I wrote a column about this, and you should see the hate mail I'm getting about this. People think it's a violation of free speech rights. These people have a fundamental misunderstanding of what free speech is, especially on a private platform like this. Yeah. Oh my God, plenty of people think don't disagree with this decision for that.
Do you just send them the XKCD comic on free speech?
Yeah, I actually linked to that in my column too. Yeah. But I mean, it's still, these people are so whipped up, they don't pay attention to any of these facts.
Yeah.
But I mean, the real thing, I kind of disagree with Nate to a degree, and that's because we wouldn't even be talking about this had it not been a very famous movie star and SNL star retweeting all these images, and Jack Dorsey reaching out to her personally. This happens every day. I have so many friends who have gotten death threats. A really close friend of mine, she runs a feminist website. She's been death threatened, and you name the worst possible things you can think of. She's had it tweeted at her, and she's reported these accounts for abuse and has gotten, "Oh, sorry, nothing can happen," back. And so, it's nice that they can do this, and maybe this can be like this galvanizing point that Nate was talking about, and they can start doing something. But honestly, I'm not optimistic. They've been talking about their line for the last 2 years since Dick Costolo was CEO has been, "Oh, we're not doing enough to combat abuse," and then they just leave it at that and do absolutely nothing. But I think one move they did make this week that could be like a hint of laying the groundwork towards something is allowing anyone to apply for verification. And maybe you can see them getting to a point where everyone has their own real identity on Twitter. You can still be anonymous if you want to, but you're kind of like cornered off in this dark corner of Twitter where everyone else gets to see a verified identity and a filtered, troll-free Twitter, which would be great. I think that's one of the answers to this problem. Not the answer, but, approaching the answer.